This week on Stay in the Truck, we'll review the MAC conference. So get you a nice cold beverage and let's go. Welcome to Stay in the Truck, the ultimate podcast for sports enthusiasts and avid gamblers alike. Each week we'll provide you with invaluable insights, analysis, and tips to elevate your game. We can be found on all major podcast and social media outlets. See the show notes for details. Stick around to the end to hear this week's most boneheaded sports moments with our Stay in the Truck Awards. So let's jump right into this week's show. All right, guys, so let's roll right into the Toledo Rockets.
Toledo, defending champions of the MAC, favored again to win it at a plus 175. Their season win total set at 8.5, juice to the over. And I think the bookmakers are dead on. I think they're the favorite again. DeQuan Finn's coming back, fifth-year senior. He accounted for 2,260 yards, 23 touchdowns, but he did throw those 12 INTs.
Attaboy.
And he's got to be a better passer. If he can be a better passer, that record of 9-5 last year, I mean, they have a good shot at going 10-2.
Well, he should have some pretty good protection. He's got several offensive linemen coming back. I see Nick Rossi Jr. and Dallas Gant. Both of them were 2022 All-MAC first team. Both of those guys are coming back, so he should have some protection.
Yeah, 31 points a game.
Yep, 4 starters returning. Yep, and then they got running back Jaquez Smart and a deep group of running backs to run behind that O-line. So, and then obviously their secondary is going to be solid, led by Quinyon Mitchell, who broke up 20 passes last year. The Rockets secondary might be the best strength of any position group in the conference. So Toledo's going to be a solid team. Looking forward to it.
Well, you know, right off the bat, we're going to find out if that defense improved. They got to make a trip to Illinois, Brett Bielema's boys. You know, I got them as a 10-point dog in that. That's the only game I have them as an underdog. Now, I do have them as a pick when they go on the road to Miami, Ohio. That's toward the end of October. So, I mean, if you're looking at it, by the time they get there, they're what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-1, according to my numbers. So, the win total is 8.5. So, if you're on that over, you just need to get one of those last 5 games.
Makes sense. All right, let's move on to the Ohio Bobcats. They've got Tim Albin, MAC Coach of the Year.
Yeah, MAC Coach of the Year, but they haven't won a MAC championship since 1968. They've been to 6 of them.
It's their year.
It's their year.
They led the conference in scoring last year, half a point more per game than your beloved Toledo
Rockets.
And they're going to do it.
They definitely got the best player in the MAC.
Their quarterback, 6'5", 230 pounds. Going to be a 6th-round draft pick to the New England Patriots.
He was the 22 MAC Player of the Year.
Tom Brady 2.0.
He was also the MAC MVP.
Nice.
So
well, there we go.
He is a baller.
They finished on a bang last year. They won 7 of their last 8 games. Only loss being to Toledo in the championship. Ended up beating Wyoming in the Arizona Bowl. So coming off a hot streak last year. We'll see.
Yeah, and you know, they start the season off that week 0 at San Diego State, where I got them at about a touchdown underdog. And, you know, after that, they get Long Island. They have to go play Tom Herman and the Owls down there at FAU. And you know, I got them as a dog there. Got them as a dog going to Iowa State. So, you know, their season win total set at 7.5. Unfortunately, Chris, I'm kind of bullish on Toledo, and I just don't know if Ohio has enough to get to those 8 or 9 wins.
Watch and see.
Not saying they can't win the MAC, but can they win 8 or 9 games?
Look, I think y'all need to throw a wager down right now.
Yeah. Come on. Put your money where your mouth
Hey,
is.
listen, I've got all my money on Colorado not hitting their wins. And I'm happy with that.
Please see the last podcast.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
No, Ohio can do it, but the problem is they gave up 28 points per game to go with those 31 they scored. So if their defense can tighten up, then they'll be able to get it done this year. If not, Next year we'll be saying it's been since 1968 since Ohio won a championship in the MAC.
All right, let's move on. The Eastern Michigan Eagles. Jeff, I don't know how to pronounce this.
Yipsy.
Have you ever been? Is it? But there's an L in there.
I believe it's called Yipsy.
Salanti?
I actually had a guy that worked for me 2 years ago that worked on the public works crew for the city of Yipsy.
Nice. All right, so they're outside of Ann Arbor. All right, Eastern Michigan Eagles. So what do you like here?
Well, I look at them, and that 5-1 to win the conference is definitely not enough to catch my attention. 7.5 on the win total. The bookmakers they got it juiced to the under. So they got 9 games last year. They upset Arizona State. They did sign the best recruiting class in the MAC. The quarterback comes back. Running back returns. He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year. But if I had to lean, I would definitely lean to the under of 7.5. I just don't see them winning 8 games.
Well, it depends on if they pull off that big upset. Like they seems to do every year. They seem to pull off a big upset. This year, their only 2 options are Wisconsin and who do they have later in the year?
Well, they got to go. I mean, their conference games, look, they're on the road. They get Minnesota the second week. It's not a conference
Minnesota,
game.
Playing
not
Toledo
Wisconsin,
at
so-
home.
Yeah, but they got to go on the road to Central Michigan. They got to go on the road to Northern Illinois in October 21st, and it's going to be cold up there, probably hailing or icing or something. They got to go to Toledo. They got to go to Buffalo to end the season. So I don't know if they can win them games or not.
We need to clear something up real quick, though. Let me see if my man Detroit Dave will answer the phone.
Who knows if it's Yipsy or not?
Well, he either went to Central, Western, or Eastern Michigan.
One of
I
them.
don't remember which one. We're going to find out.
This
if he
will be our
answers.
first guest caller.
Our guest caller, Detroit Dave, live on Stay in the Truck.
Well, in the meantime, how in the hell is Eastern Michigan scoring the highest recruiting class in the MAC? I asked myself that question, but then I look at the other teams in the MAC, and I'm like, oh.
Dave, you're our first guest on Stay in the Truck pod, and we need to know something.
Detroit Dave.
Welcome, Detroit Dave. How the hell do you pronounce the city that Eastern Michigan is in?
Ypsilanti.
Ypsilanti?
That ain't no fucking Yipsy. What were you talking about, Jeff?
That's all we needed.
Better known as Ipsitucky.
Ipsitucky?
It's the home of the world. It's the home of the world's biggest penis.
Nice.
There you go.
Detroit Dave dropping some
Detroit
knowledge.
Dave with some knowledge.
Wow.
All right, that's all we needed, buddy.
Detroit Dave, what is your prediction? Are they going to be good?
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
We
we
got
need to get
questions.
some
Dave,
for you.
can they win 7 games?
Eastern Michigan.
Yes.
Eagles.
It's a little tiny school. They have aluminum bleachers like a high school, like a small high school.
So you're saying bet the under.
Well, they've actually had pretty decent teams the last few years, so
But-
maybe not. They might make 7 wins.
Yeah, they won 9 games last year.
Well, it's actually 7.5. So do you think they can win 8?
It's a miracle because they're a little small school.
Yeah, they upset Arizona last year. Can they upset Minnesota this year?
I went there as a freshman.
I thought so. That's why I sent you the text that said, didn't you go to Eastern Michigan?
Yeah, Google the water tower.
Did you get kicked out?
No, I left and went to Michigan for a couple of years.
All right, Dave. So, I mean, curious minds want to know what's the record here on this largest penis?
It's probably 4 or 5 stories tall. It's a water tower shaped like a cock. Google it. You won't believe it.
Google
It's
it.
even got a slit on top of the penis. You won't fucking believe it.
There you go. You heard it here, guys.
You heard it here first. All right, buddy. We'll holler at you later.
See ya.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Detroit Dave.
There he is.
All right. Well, got everything we
Stay
wanted
in the
out of
truck.
Eastern Michigan, I guess. Moving
All right,
on to Central
hold on.
Michigan.
So,
what do we
one,
got
one more
there?
time. What did he call it? Ypsilanti?
Ypsilanti or something.
Ypsilanti.
Still don't know.
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, it's not Locust Grove. I can tell you that.
That's right.
Let's transition here. Central Michigan Chippewas.
Yeah, Central Michigan again. 20-1 to win the conference. 5.5 win total. The bookmakers got it juiced to the under at -150. You get plus money on the over. Jim McElwain comes in. He was at Florida a couple of years ago. Totally destroyed that program, and so they shipped him off up there to Central Michigan. Their quarterback only played in 5 games last year. He only accounted for 435 yards, 1 touchdown. He threw 5 interceptions. Bert Emanuel Jr. Yes, Emanuel Jr. That is the son of the Falcons' great, Bert Emanuel.
Well, Bert's starting the season 1-5, so if you want them to hit that 5.5 total, you better hope they have a good second half.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about Bert Jr., 4 for 8 passing last year, 54 yards, no touchdowns, no NITs. He rushed for 496 yards and 7 touchdowns.
I'm pretty sure he didn't throw any NITs.
Hey, he did rip through Buffalo for 293 yards and 3 scores last year, so he's a bit of a wild card, old Bert.
Yeah, they do got a star running back in Nichols. They had a star running back in Nichols. He's gone to Green Bay. The defense, shaky at best, lost their best defensive lineman to Denver. There's no way they win 6 games. They opened at Michigan State, and Michigan State is nothing, but I still got them as 2.5 touchdown dogs to them. So then they got to go to Notre Dame. They got to go to South Alabama. Got to go to Buffalo, go to Ball State, go to Western Michigan, go to Ohio. So I don't see it. If I had a lean, I'm definitely leaning to the under 5.5. No way I would pick them to win the conference. We'll see what happens.
3-9, 4-8 at best.
At best.
That's it.
At best. So
Bet the under.
Bet the under, and they do have it juiced at 150, but it's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet.
All right, with that being said, moving on to the land of delicious fried chicken wings, where these bad boys were invented. What else is in Buffalo of famous conjecture?
Snow.
Lake effect.
Oh, there you go. A little bit of snow, a little bit of lake effect. Finished 7-6 last year.
You also have Josh Allen, right?
True. They might not even be able to get out of their driveway for the football games. If they're anything like the Buffalo Bills last year. They do have veteran quarterback Cole Snyder coming back, so that'll make a world of difference.
3,000 yards last year, 18 TDs, 8 interceptions.
How many NITs?
Yes.
Yeah, he's probably looking for one of those deals. He probably didn't get one, but they lost their best 2 offensive weapons. Linebacker comes back, though, Sean Doliak.
First team All-MAC.
Yeah, he's a senior. He had 148 tackles last year, 4.5 sacks. So
they're also returning safety Marquez Fuqua.
Yeah, but 6.5 set it plus money. They go to Camp Randall, Wisconsin, to open the season. They're getting 20 points. It's probably more than that now. My numbers might be a little stale on this, but Fordham, Liberty, they got to go to Louisiana, Akron. If I'm leaning, I'm leaning to the under. I don't see them winning 7 games. Definitely don't see them challenging for the conference championship.
Well, even if they're rolling, right? Halloween, they get the scary week starts. They come up, they have Toledo at home, and then they follow up with Ohio. So
they got to go on the road to Toledo. I got them as an 8-point dog there. The next week they get Ohio coming in. I got them as a 6-point dog, and that's only because, I gave them like 1 point, 1.5 points for home field advantage, which is probably not even that. It's probably less than that. They're not beating them, so that's back-to-back losses. So, and there's no guarantee they beat Kent State when they have to go there and play. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is there a prop bet on like how many yards you think somebody will throw for if they threw the previous year?
Yeah, but probably not on these.
I mean, this guy was a 3,000-yard passer. I know it's the MAC, but I'm just wondering if anybody's going to – because losing his best players, I think that'd be a good bet if you could find that bet somewhere.
Yeah, he's not going to throw for 3,000.
He lost 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, but he throws for 26, 27.
The question is, did he pick anybody up in the portal?
Yeah, they got some wide receivers coming in out of the portal.
Yeah, but why are they in the portal?
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's always going to be my thing with the portal deal. So
1, you're in the portal. 2, you're transferring to a MAC school.
You're not only a MAC school, but
3, that MAC school is Buffalo.
Right. Yes. Yes. So
you're probably not elite.
No, you're not elite. Regression is coming.
Yeah.
I didn't do the research on what Snyder did as a sophomore or junior, but I'm sure it wasn't 3,000 yards.
Right.
And I'm sure he didn't throw 18 touchdowns.
So with all that saying, I would bet the under on the 3,000 yards.
Yeah, maybe we can get friend of the show, Carl Johnson.
Are we done with the whack Mac yet?
Almost.
What are we doing?
Almost.
Tony's like a little schoolgirl over there. He's so happy about the under.
Yes.
Tony, don't lose all your money when you head down to Biloxi next week on this under 3,000 yards.
Kent State, their new head coach. What are they going to do, Jeff?
Kenny
Yes.
Burns.
Let's
Kenny
talk
Burns
about
comes
Kent
in.
State Golden Flashes.
100
How about that? What kind of logo do you put on a helmet for the Golden Flashes?
It's got to be like a lightning bolt.
It's kind of like a knockoff of the Chargers or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely
All
a knockoff of the
I
Chargers.
don't even know what a Golden Flash is.
It's got to be some sort of bird.
Well, I can tell you. I can tell you what it's not. It does not have head coach Sean Lewis because Coach Prime hired him to be the offensive coordinator out there in Boulder. So
I can tell you what else it doesn't have is any starters returning on offense.
I've never heard of that ever. Now I'm not as old as Methuselah or nothing, but I've been watching college football for a long time. I've never seen a line where it says zero returning starters on offense.
Yeah, their
The
first
Golden
team,
Splashes.
their
Their
first
logo on their
team
helmet's going to be R.
All-MAC.
Kelly.
first team All MAC running back transferred to Ball State.
Ball State.
Marquez Cooper.
That's in conference though. He transferred in conference. So he might be a kid from there. But I wanted to talk about these guys simply just to say, hey, number one, the head coach. He was the head coach. He took a offensive coordinator position with Coach Prime.
To go be with Prime.
That's right. So he left that, and he's an up tempo guy, which is what.
He left because he had zero starters coming back on offense. He's like, getting the fuck out of here. Fuck
Yeah,
this.
so that they're 150 to 1 to win the conference. Come on, guys. That's not even enough. I probably need 3 times that much to make that bet. 2.5 win total, and that's giving you plus money if you bet on that. So I just wanted to bring this up. Let our listeners hear it. And
Well, you've got them favored in 5 games.
yeah, my numbers might be a little bit skewed home field advantage wise and some of that other stuff, but I'm not.
You'd still bet the under.
I would still bet the under.
Wow. All right, that's some
right.
Dion stuff.
We are high on Kent State.
All right, let's talk about the Akron Zips.
They're 50 to 1 to win the conference. They got a season win total of 3.5. Joe Moorhead, great offensive mind, was Jim Franklin's offensive coordinator, at Penn State, and coached at Mississippi State. He got run out down there because he couldn't win enough games. But he's a great offensive-minded guy. He's got a quarterback coming back in DJ Irons that accounted for 2,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, did have 7 picks. He rushed for 100 yards, had 4 touchdowns on the ground. Their offense can be explosive at times. The problem is the defense wasn't good. Don't know. It should improve. How many points did they give up last year,
I think it was
Chris?
33.
Yeah, 31, 32, 33 points.
I'll take a second.
So nobody ever got hurt jumping out a basement window.
Yeah, when you're
33 and a half points.
33.
a game.
There's
Okay.
only one way to go, baby,
Jeez.
and that's up.
Yeah. 33.5 points.
Solid D right there, boys.
Well, they finished 2-10 last year.
That
so
DC's
technically
trying to
they
get an interview with Kirby. He wants to head down to the
go
SEC.
1-11
Well,
if they
2
needed
and
to.
10, and you have them at a 3.5. So where are you on the over/under, Joe?
Well, I only have them favored in 2 games.
All right, so we'll take
Lee.
under.
I would take under.
All right, you heard it first, guys. Akron Zips.
All right, so wrapping this whole MAC conference up, you guys all want to finish with who you're picking, who you're taking?
I'm going with the chalk. I'm taking the plus 175 on Toledo. I'm betting on Finn as the 5th-year senior coming back, not throwing no 12 NITs or INTs, but he's got to be a better passer. He's got a running back to lean on. They got the whole offensive 4 of the 5, 4 of the 6, however you want to look at it, offensive line starters coming back. They got the best secondary in the whole group of 6. I'm betting them, and I think it's going to come down to them in Ohio again, and I'm taking Toledo.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Jeff. Tim Albin, last year's MAC Coach of the Year. He's got his quarterback coming back. He's healthy. He was the player of the year. He won the MVP. So I'm going to go with Ohio Bobcats.
All right. Well, the MAC is so damn whack. They don't have a single team in the preseason top 25. Only 17 teams in MAC history have finished in the final year-end AP top 25 poll. All these teams are just not very good when it comes to college football as a whole. That being said, I'm on Team Jeff. I'm going Toledo over Ohio again in the final. Just don't see Ohio getting over that hump.
All right, Curtis Rourke with his 25 touchdowns and 4 picks. His running back coming back for his junior year after a 1,000-yard season. 4 O-line starters coming back. Tony, thanks for getting on my bandwagon here with Ohio. And
Let's go.
On top of that, I've got them finishing 22. They're going to finish in the top 25, be the first team to do it out of the MAC in, how many years? 10, 11?
2015.
I don't know. It's only happened 17 times. I don't remember the last time. Though.
Well, it's going to happen this year. And
The MAC
nobody's
is-
going to be saying Ohio hasn't won a MAC conference championship since 1968 anymore.
And let me just throw this nugget in before we cut off. Ohio's in the East with Buffalo, Bowling Green, Miami, Ohio, Kent State, and Akron. Definitely probably the easiest side of any conference in football, period,
Yeah,
right?
they're going to walk it out.
One sleeping giant, Miami, Ohio, probably got the best defense in the conference. So,
Well, sounds to me like we're setting ourselves up for a pretty good finish here in the MAC conference. So, should be some good betting. If it's not good betting, it should be some good wagering between us.
yeah, and something else to remember, this is the MACtion. They do start playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in October, so it's going to be fun, guys.
Looking forward to it.
Let's go. All right, guys, let's jump right into this week's Stay in the Truck Awards. What do you got, Chris?
All right, my Stay in the Truck award this week goes to the Chicago White Sox shortstop, Tim Anderson. I don't know if y'all saw this or not last week, but Ramirez of the Guardian slid into second base. He did not like the way that Tim Anderson stood over him at the end of the play, which wasn't that long. I mean, Ramirez did overreact because Tim Anderson did not make a thing of it. So Ramirez hopped up, pointed in his face, said a few kind words, and then Tim Anderson decided to make a thing of it, threw his glove down, put up the old fisticuffs like he was ready to go, and then got knocked the fuck out by a slap punch.
Yep.
Not even a regular slap punch, a blind slap punch. Ramirez had his head down, threw a blind punch, and it caught him with almost an open hand inside of his fist. Dude was so knocked out, he was stumbling, being walked off the field. Pathetic show. I mean, Jake Paul can take a better punch than this guy. It was terrible.
He looked like, what was the dude on Mike Tyson's? Glass
Joe.
Yeah.
Glass
that's
Joe
what,
from Mike Tyson's
Tim
punch
looked
out.
like,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Who's up? What do you got?
I'm going to piggyback off of my stay in the truck from last week about the NCAA and Jim Harbaugh. So since that happened, apparently, now they've been negotiating this for several years, right? And, the rumor was he's going to get 4 games. He's going to miss the first 4 games. Can attend all the practices, do all the prep, the game planning, the whole 9 yards, right? So I'm reading the other day, and Jim said, Nah, I'm not going to say I did it. I'm not going to say I did something that I didn't do. So now the NCAA, they're going to negotiate again. So it might be 1 game, it might be no games, but Jim said he's not taking a 4-game suspension. NCAA, what are you doing?
That's going to have a big impact on Michigan's season, too.
Yeah,
They've lost all credibility this year because of all the realignments and to the general public, to the nation, to college football fans, it's so apparent that the NCAA is bullshit because right now what controls college football is TV contracts.
that's it. That's ask the Pac-12.
That's the Pac-12. So, or what's left of it.
The debunked.
The Pac-2.
Yes.
For
That's
too much
it.
longer.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you. The NCAA is a turd. They need to.
Yeah.
need
Listen,
to
if
go
it
away.
wasn't for March Madness, which is, what they sanction, that's it. That's the only thing. Yes, the swimming, the tennis, I get it. But I don't want to say nobody cares about it, but
Yeah, if you don't have a child or
Right.
family member or relative involved in it, you're
Yeah.
probably not watching badminton.
yeah. So, yeah, NCAA.
Yeah, I'm a
stay in
huge
the truck.
badminton fan personally, but I'm going to play a little bit off of Chris's. I heard him mention Jake Paul. I'm going to go on that Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight last week. What a comedy show of errors. 8 rounds of juking and jiving and dancing around the ring. It was entertaining, no doubt. Paul is 26, Nate Diaz is 38, so he's just finding any washed-up fighters that he can to fight. He is 7-1 now, though, with 4 KOs. But the stay in the truck is really coming from the end of the fight when Jake Paul said, I'm going to match you up in MMA now.
Yeah.
So when Jake Paul steps in the MMA ring with crazy-ass Nate Diaz, I think he's about to get his ass rocked.
I mean, he put him in the guillotine in that one round and let him go. So, I mean...
Yeah, 100%. So,
he'll have a list of demands before he signs a contract to do that fight from here to the Gulf of Mexico saying, well, Nate Diaz can't do this and Nate Diaz can't do that if he decides to do an MMA fight. It's such a bunch of staged, bogus bullshit. But to his credit, he's made bazillions of dollars with this bogus, staged bullshit. He got my $60 last week. Because I had the fight.
100%. The guy's printing money. You can't hate on him for that. But
I can still fucking hate him.
Jake Paul, stay in the truck. You're going to get your ass rocked in MMA.
All right. Thank you, Josh. So I've got some really bad news for you guys. It's a pretty sad day. Lizzo has been dropped from the Super Bowl halftime show considerations after facing a series of shocking sexual harassment and fat-shaming allegations from her former dancers. So that's my Stay in the Truck award for this week.
I thought it was because she walked in the stadium and got stuck.
Wow.
How was Lizzo fat-shaming anyone?
Stay in the truck, Lizzo. That's it for this week's show. We really appreciate you tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave us some comments. Let us know how we're doing. Stay in the truck.